Hello, hello. Don't see anybody here yet. Getting all of my things out that I forgot to get out, or actually opening the books and getting this out because I forgot to get this out. Hello, hello. How are you guys doing? I did not get a notice of this video. I don't understand it. Okay, y'all. Seriously, this is crazy. I think YouTube, okay, I don't know if you guys that don't do videos, I don't know if you know that there's now something called handles that they just started. I don't know if everybody has them or if it's just certain channels so far. I have mine, and I'm a tiny channel. Um, so they've just started this, and ever since they started this, several people have been having problems with uploading, processing, and now I guess this. My screen is crooked. I accidentally bumped my screen and my camera and everything. I don't know if it's off or not. It looks like that I'm kind of centered. Let me scoot over. It doesn't matter. Um, it's a little bit off. I don't know. Anyway, so I guess now people aren't getting. Did you get notifications for other videos? Or is it just this? Because I don't know why you wouldn't. It's really weird. No, you didn't? For like last night's video? Hi, Carol. Need prayer for a friend, elder of church in Arkansas. Was sent to hospital about 3 hours ago. No news yet. Okay. Well, if they're shadow banning me, I don't know why. I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't do nothing. Sometimes now I have noticed myself that like I will be subscribed to a channel. I will have the bell clicked on and everything. And then I'll go back and I'm like, well, they hadn't put a video out in weeks. I'll go back and the notifications are not turned on anymore. And I didn't turn them off. So it could be that a little glitchy thing. Also, something else I noticed, I had gained quite a few. I'm going to write her name down. I had gained quite a few subscribers after the collabs I've been in, which it could be that people subscribed to me and they decided I wasn't their cup of tea. I don't know. But I gained some, and then all of a sudden in one day I lost 5. And that usually happens that whenever they're dumping bot accounts. But I don't know. They're doing some work with YouTube, and it may be that. I turn them off and back on just to see. I don't know. So let me write down her name before it's gone. Mrs. Maddox Hospital. And it's Carol's friend. Okay. I write down that, just a little note so I know. Even though I don't have to know. God knows. I don't have to know. But anyways, speaking of prayer requests, I have one from a friend she's a YouTuber. I don't actually know her personally. I've talked to her a lot, at one point we talked quite a bit. We haven't talked quite as much, but in recent times, she does have a channel and she was doing videos, but she hasn't done any in a while. At least I haven't seen any. But then again, my bell may not be rung anymore. I have to go check that later. But anyway, her daughter is pregnant and there's some complications. and we need to keep them in prayer. Her daughter also had health problems before she got pregnant. There was no reason she couldn't have children, but she needs to, she needs our prayer. And I haven't heard anything else from Oklahoma Boy about not his grandmother, but kind of like a grandmother, like an adopted grandmother. He adopted her, I guess you could say. That's my thought anyway. And then Joanne, of course, with her blood loss situation and everything. If she wants to give us an update, she can. Then let's see, Selena, my daughter, keep her in your prayers for sure. And there was, let's see, who else is on here? And Donna's friend that was sick. Her and her son. How are they? I haven't heard from the last time. I know you said they were getting better, but how are they, Donna? And also there was someone else. Who am I missing? Oh, Stacy. She had her surgery yesterday. That man and Big Mama. She's Big Mama. She had her shoulder surgery yesterday, and I'm not saying anything she hasn't said. Well, I am, but I'm not. She's talked about her shoulder surgery on her channel, so I don't feel bad about telling you that it was shoulder surgery. But she had her surgery yesterday. Everything went pretty good. She's having her first therapy today. Her first physical therapy. So, I don't know how that's going to be. I don't know. But she said that she slept a lot yesterday, but she's feeling okay. He's still in the hospital and having insurance issues. Okay, that's a different friend. Do not know if he will be released from the hospital working toward the third month in a row. Now, third month in a row? Is that what you meant? That's not the friend I was talking about. I was talking about your friend that had the big C thing, not him. But I was going to ask about him too. He's in the hospital. He doesn't actually live far. The friend, did I write the one with the autoimmune system? Her and her son both were sick with COVID. You told me they were doing better. I can't remember exactly what it said in the email, but you said they were doing better. That I think he was going to go back to work. She has autoimmune. See, you didn't ever tell me, like, the name starts with a B. That's what I know. Hi, Val. There's several people we've talked about prayer requests. Jaton's daughter, Ashley, her pregnancy. Mrs. Maddox that Carol just talked about. Donna's friends that we're trying to figure out. I mean, she told me they were doing better, but I think, she's got 3 friends she's had me praying for, and Adrian is one that's been in the hospital for a little while. My daughter, and Joanne said, I received the results from the hemoglobin test last week. Hemoglobin is up to 0.5, so going in the right direction. That is good news, Joanne. That is really good news. Okay, they're much better. Donna's friends. Oh, yes, better, much better, but another friend has the flu and thought her son Jeff might die. Oh, no. Still might, one never knows. Son in wheelchair and health issues. Okay. Well, we'll keep them in prayer. I'm going to write that down. So does the son have the flu too? Okay. All right. But we have a long list of people to pray for, and over the next however long. And then, if there's any updates, we'll let y'all know next week, I guess, is how we'll do. That's what we've been doing. I actually, this is just how that I just started asking for prayer because I thought that, we might have people we want to pray for. But, let's see, she's down in her back and has diabetes too, down in the back because of helping her son lifelong, no nursing home for him. Okay. Yeah. It's got to be hard whenever you have a child who is in a wheelchair, and of course they grow up and you may have to take care of them. Jeff and Tola. Okay. Okay. I think I said it right. Tola. Is that right? I don't know. But just keep all of these in your prayers. I keep a little list. I don't pray in front of people out loud. I don't usually pray out loud. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But some people do. But I don't know. It just the way I do it. She participated in your wedding. But but I will be praying for all of these the requests. Also, I didn't mention again that Oklahoma boy, which he told me on a comment that his actual name is Randall. So if I say that, that's who I'm talking about. But his grandmother, well, it's not his grandmother, but he adopted her, is the way I see it. But anyway, let's go on to the study. And then I do have something that I want to ask y'all about toward the end. I don't know. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all about it later. It's not a big deal. It's not anything wrong. It's not anything, but I want to ask y'all about it. It's about a thing that I have that's on sale today for Amazon. But I already have it on my Kindle. But let's just go ahead and go on. I'm not going to go over the whole 1 Samuel. We know that Saul has gone slap bang nuts is what I'd call it. He's crazy. He's trying to kill David. He has lost his kingship because he has disobeyed God. He has done sacrifice when he shouldn't have. He's not waiting on God, which is something that we all fail at times. We don't wait on God. We're in too big of a hurry that we want to do our own way, and we don't wait on God. He didn't wait on God's messenger, and sometimes we have to do that. And the more I think about the book of 1 Samuel, the more I think about all the things that have been brought up in it that we do. We just do these things. I don't think Saul is, no, it's not. I don't think. I know Saul was not thinking clearly. He was not doing the things that God had chosen for him to do. For the first 2 years of him being king, he was pretty good. I didn't see anything that he had done wrong. But then all of a sudden, once he went bad, he went bad. So David is anointed king. At this point, I don't even know. It hasn't said, but Saul isn't aware, I don't think, because Saul is still in the he's on the throne. He's the king. And we just know that it's a situation that Saul didn't have to be in. He put himself in the situation whenever he disobeyed God, whenever he didn't wait on God, whenever he didn't listen to God's messenger. So Saul's sin was just so great that God rejected him. It was just, you can't do this. And David was the one person who could soothe him, who could play his harp and soothe him. But David is the one person he wants to murder. He has so much animosity towards this poor boy who doesn't understand why. Why are you doing this? Why do you want to kill me? What have I done? And so we're going to get into that more now, because Saul is so jealous that his jealousy is overriding everything that would make sense. So I don't think that this is going to be like a long study today. Then again, who knows? But the chapters were super easy. I didn't take a lot of notes. And we'll see what happens, because sometimes whenever I'm reading it to you guys, there's more that I think about or more that comes out. And then y'all say something that brings on more discussion, which is what I love. And it helps us to understand God's word better, I think. I think that anyway. So I need a drink of water, because y'all, I'm serious about all this cleaning I've been doing. I've been stirring up some dustices that have been dormant or laying low for a while. And I stirred up some dust yesterday I didn't realize I had. So it's caused a little stuffiness up in here in my nose area and my head and all that. But I'm fine. I'm not sick. It's just, whenever you stir things up like that, things happen. So, where am I at? I haven't read a thing. Let's start at verse 1. How about that? Chapter 19. Now Saul spoke to Jonathan his son and to all his servants that they should kill David, but Jonathan, Saul's son, delighted greatly in David. Something else I meant to say is Jonathan and David were friends. They were like brothers. And also David was married to one of Saul's daughters. So, y'all already know that. Y'all were here, but still. So, he is trying to enlist the help of his son to kill, and his servants to kill David. So Jonathan told David, saying, my father Saul seeks to kill you. Therefore, please be on your guard until morning, and stay in a secret place and hide. And I will go out and stand beside my father in the field where you are, and I will speak with my father about you. Then what I observe, I will tell you. So he's telling him, hide somewhere, and wherever you go, you stay hidden, but I'm going to go talk to my daddy over here so you can hear him. That's what I'm thinking. So he'll be in earshot, as Jeff would say. Thus Jonathan spoke well of David to Saul his father, and said to him, let not the king sin against his servant, against David, because he has not sinned against you, and because his works have been very good towards you. For he took his life in his hands and killed the Philistine, and the Lord brought about a great deliverance for all Israel. You saw it and rejoiced. Why then will you sin against innocent blood to kill David without a cause? And what they're talking about here, what he's talking about to Saul is he killed Goliath, the one that for 40 days taunted the Israelite people, who taunted the king's people. And this young boy came up and he killed him. He wasn't afraid of him. He had God on his side. So Jonathan is reminding Saul about all that he's done and how that he helped Israel. And Saul doesn't remember these things. And that was whenever Saul first brought him to court, to the king's court. Brought David anyway. So Saul heeded the voice of Jonathan, and Saul swore, as the Lord lives, he shall not be killed. Then Jonathan called David, and Jonathan told him all these things. So Jonathan brought David to Saul, and he was in the presence as in times past. So he's back at court. David is back at court because Saul was reminded. Saul, you know how some people, they have selective memory, selective hearing, stuff like that. Well, he's got selective memory. He remembers what he wants to. He doesn't remember like he should. Saul is just remembering what he wants, when he wants. And it seems as though at times Satan comes to him and whispers in his ear, and that's when he gets enraged, and that's when I've got to kill David. His worst enemy is David. And my thought is, he wanted to kill David, not as Saul, not as king. He didn't want to kill David as, human nature would. This thing is like weird. That's not where the anger and wrath was coming from. The anger and wrath, I feel like, was coming from Satan whispering in Saul's ear, and Saul was so far away from God that he let it happen. He didn't fight it. He didn't stop it. But every once in a while, some little thing would happen, and Saul would be reminded, David's a good man. David is a good person. He's a good son-in-law. He's a good friend of my son. He's a good person for Israel. And he would repent of his sin. Like whenever someone is going through times where they're having doubt about God, and they repent, and then They see how good God is, they repent, and then they go back to their old ways, and then it's a cycle of you keep messing up. That's what it sounds like Saul is doing to me. I could be wrong, but that's just what it seems. And then on verse 8, and there was war again, and David went out and fought with the Philistines and struck them with a mighty blow, and they fled from him. Now the distressing spirit from the Lord came upon Saul as he sat in his house with his spear in his hand, and David was playing music with his hand. Then Saul sought to pin David to the wall with a spear, but he slipped away from Saul's presence, and he drove the spear into the wall. So David fled and escaped that night. So that quickly Saul forgot, because that distressing spirit came upon him. And even though he was playing his music, it's not helping anymore. That music that was working has stopped working. At least that's the way it sounds to me. And Saul is back to his rage. He's back to, I got to kill him. So he's throwing spears again. This is not the only time he's thrown a spear at David. Saul also sent messengers to David's house to watch him and to kill him in the morning. And Michael, or is it Michal? How do you say that name? I don't know. I guess it's probably Michael. David's wife told him, saying, if you do not save your life tonight, tomorrow you will be killed. So Michael let David down through the window, and he went and fled and escaped. And Michael took an image and laid it in the bed, put a cover of goat's hair for his head, and covered it with clothes. So when Saul sent messengers to take David, she said, he is sick. So she sent her husband out a window to save his life. She sent him out the window and put, like how kids do when they sneak out, put a pillows or whatever, maybe a hat to hide or whatever, So it looks like there's a body there, but there's nobody there. And she lied to them and said, he's sick. She's deceiving her father. Then Saul sent the messengers back to see David, saying, bring him up to me in the bed, that I may kill him. He does not care that this man is supposed to be sick. He still wants to kill him. He doesn't care that he's in bed sick, even though it's not real. He doesn't know that. It doesn't matter to Saul. His only aim is to get rid of David. And I believe that the reason why that he wanted to get rid of David so bad is because he was God's anointed, and Satan wanted God's anointed dead. And when the messengers had come in, there was the image in the bed with a cover of goat's hair for his head. Then Saul said to Michael, why have you deceived me like this and sent my enemy away so that he has escaped? And Michael answered Saul, he said to me, let me go. Why should I kill you? So she's saying that David said, you need to let me go or I'm going to kill you. David never said that. She told David to leave. I don't think David would have threatened his wife. Not that he didn't do bad things later, but at this point, I just don't think that would have happened. Does anyone know that Saul tried 21 times to kill David? I wasn't sure how many, but I knew it was a lot. I knew it was a lot of times. I never have actually looked up how many. Verse 18. So David fled and escaped and went to Samuel at Ramah and told him all that Saul had done to him. And he and Samuel went and stayed in Naioth. Now it was told Saul, saying, take note, David is at Naioth in Ramah. Let's see. Hi, Gina. Then Saul said, actually, I looked up how to say Naioth because I didn't know how to say it. I wasn't sure. So I looked it up. Then Saul sent messengers to take David, and when they saw the group of prophets prophesying and Samuel standing as leader over them, the Spirit of God came upon the messengers of Saul, and they also prophesied. So, please share it, Carol, because I'm sure everybody, I'm interested. I want to know. But anyway, all of the messengers that he had sent, they all started prophesying. God started talking through them, speaking through them. And when Saul was told, he sent other messengers and they prophesied likewise. So that's two sets of messengers. I can't do two, like, peace sign. That don't happen with me. My fingers don't work like that. There's it's a secret about me. I can't. It looks like this instead. It actually looks okay. See, that's how it looks. That's my two. Anyway, I've always been like that. It will take a few minutes to type them all. That's fine, Carol. If you want to, you can send me an email and I can put it in the description. If that will be easier to do it after a while, if everybody wants to do that, which I'm going to do it anyway. But anyway, I'm going to put it in the description whether you tell me now or later. So then Saul sent messengers again a third time. I can do a 3, but I can't do a 2. Why? Because something about these things, tendons, ligaments, something, they don't like each other to work. I can't do peace sign. Now my alarm's going off. Where was I at? Then he also went to Ramah and came to the great well that is at Sechu. I think that's how you say it. So he asked and said, "Where are Samuel and David?" And someone said, "Indeed, they are at Naioth in Ramah." So he went there to Naioth in Ramah. Then the Spirit of God was upon him also. Y'all, when I read that, I was like, this is the first time this man felt God in a while. Because God's Spirit had left him a while back. And he went on and prophesied until he came to Naioth in Ramah. And he also stripped off his clothes and prophesied before Samuel in like manner, and laid down naked all day that day and all that night. Therefore, they say, is Saul also among the prophets? So he prophesied just as the others did. He went there and while he was trying to kill David, everybody he sent there to bring him back, to kill him, to whatever, God took control of them. God took control of all of them. I have a whole little set of these layman's Bible commentary. I brought this out just to see if there was anything in it, but I didn't bring it out in enough time for me to actually look at it today. But I was wondering if there was anything in this. We aren't told what Saul is prophesying, but could it possibly have included godly insight into the Israel's next king? That's one of the questions it asks. I've had these things for years, but I haven't really used them much. It's like a whole little set. Hold on. It's like this. And I've got the third one out. But I have to put it back on the shelf in a minute. But I took them out because I thought about them last night. And I brought them out to see if it would help us today, because I like all the tools. Well, not all of them. Some of them may not be good. But it doesn't say much more than what it says in the Bible. Okay. I am going to copy that. And then, how am I going to do this and keep going? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to make myself a note. That is not the right thing. Because I love the little sticky notes you can do on your screen. Can I have a new note, please? Thank you. I'm going to paste that. Okay, so whenever I take a picture with my phone, it does weird stuff. So I just copied it and pasted it onto a note, made myself a little note, and I will put it in the description box after we're done. But that way we can go look at all the times. That's a lot of times to try to kill somebody and fail every single time. But okay, so as long as David was with Samuel, he was protected by God. There was nothing going to happen, which I believe that Michal did exactly what she was supposed to do. She was being used by God. I believe that Jonathan did what he was supposed to do. He was being used by God. But Saul is just so messed up that he has let Satan take over his life so much that I don't really know if he really even could have repented. I mean, I don't know if he could have fixed the problems, especially since the new king was already anointed, that God had already chosen, which usually it would have been the son of the king. And that's something else that I wanted to bring out. Jonathan knows that it would have been him, but he's still protecting David. And if he really wanted to, stop David from being the next king, if he would have wanted to be the next king, he could have simply let his daddy try harder, or he could have helped him to kill him. Some Bibles say that it's only a couple times, but read the Bible, you can find out a lot of things. Yeah, that's why we're doing this, so we can find out a lot of things, because I've definitely found out things that I didn't know and remembered things that I didn't remember since doing these Bible studies. Why is that thing going off? I don't usually check it in the daytime if Noah's here or something. It's a squirrel. Squirrel. Literally, squirrel on the little fence. All right, let's go on to chapter 20. Then David fled from Naioth in Ramah and went and said to Jonathan, "What have I done? What is my iniquity and what is my sin before your father that he seeks my life?" David doesn't even understand, which none of us understand. We don't understand. Well, we understand that it's Satan that's doing it. That it's God leaving Saul is what is doing this. We understand that. But David does not understand, why is he trying to kill me? He's probably so confused. I mean, I would be confused. Because first he loves him because he killed the Philistine and he brings him into court. And then he starts playing music for him and he's happy. And then he gives him a wife and he does all these things. And then he starts trying to murder him. I would be so confused. I would have the same questions that David has. What have I done? What is my iniquity and what is my sin before your father? You got to be quiet. The squirrels have to stop. Rude squirrels. Then Jonathan said to him, "By no means, you shall not die. Indeed, my father will do nothing, either great or small, without first telling me. And why should my father hide this thing from me? Is it not so?" Then David took an oath again and said, "Your father certainly knows that I have found favor in your eyes. And he has said, do not let Jonathan know this, lest he be grieved." In other words, he's saying, your father's not going to tell you that he's trying to kill me, because if he does, you will be hurt. But truly, as the Lord lives and as your soul lives, there is but a step between me and death. David was pretty sure he was going to die. He was pretty sure there was not much going to stop him. Not much going to stop Saul. He was fearing for his life, I feel. So Jonathan said to David, "Whatever you yourself desire, I will do it for you." And David said to Jonathan, "Indeed, tomorrow is the new moon, and I should not fail to sit with the king to eat. But let me go, that I may hide in a field until the third day at evening. If your father misses me at all, then say, David earnestly asked permission of me that he might run over to Bethlehem, his city, for there is yearly sacrifice there for all the family." So David's part of his jobs, his commitments, things he was supposed to do, was eat with the king at the new moon. And he didn't want to go. He didn't want to do it. So he asked Jonathan, "Tell this lie for me." To make up a story. Tell him this is happening, that I need to do this. If your father misses me at all, then okay, I already read that part. If he says thus, "It is well, your servant will be safe." But if he is very angry, be sure that evil is determined by him. Therefore you shall deal kindly with your servant, for you have brought your servant into a covenant of the Lord with you. Nevertheless, if there is iniquity in me, kill me yourself, for why should you bring me to your father? So, from what I understand, he's saying, let's test your dad. Let's test him and see if he is going to tell you that he wants to kill me. And if he says this, you'll know he is deceiving you. If he says this, you'll know that he's not deceiving you. But Jonathan said, far be it from you, for if I knew certainly that evil was determined by my father to come upon you, then would I not tell you? Then David said to Jonathan, Who will tell me, or what if your father answers you roughly? And Jonathan said to David, Come, let us go out into the field. So both of them went out into the field. Then Jonathan said to David, The Lord God of Israel is witness. When I have sounded out my father sometime tomorrow or the third day, and indeed there is good toward David, and I do not send to you and tell you, may the Lord do so and much more to Jonathan. But if it pleases my father to do you evil, then I will report it to you and send you away, that you may go in safety. And the Lord be with you as he has been with my father. And you shall not only show me kindness of the Lord while I still live, that I may not die, but you shall not cut off your kindness from my house forever. No, not when the Lord has cut off every one of the enemies of David from the face of the earth. So Jonathan made a covenant with the house of David, saying, Let the Lord require it and the hand of David's enemies. So it was common practice for the new king to murder all of the old king's heirs. Now, I don't know where that practice came from, unless it's from other kingdoms, because Saul was the first king of Israel, and the people had asked for him. So Jonathan is saying, when the time comes and you are king, don't kill me and my family. That's what I'm asking of you. Remember me. Remember what I've done for you. Remember that I'm your friend. So 17. Now Jonathan again caused David to vow, because he loved him, for he loved him as he loved his own soul. Then Jonathan said to David, Tomorrow is the new moon, and you will be missed, because your seat will be empty. And when you have stayed 3 days, go down quickly and come to the place where you hid on the day of the deed, and remain by the stone Ezel. Goodbye. I love you.
Love you too.
See you at 5? 5? Okay. Yes, please. Be careful. He's going to work. For some reason, they've changed his Tuesday schedule to 3 instead of 2. It was 2 for a very long time, and now they decided to change it. I don't know why. But he doesn't know why either. Verse 20. Then I will shoot 3 arrows to the side, as though I shot at a target. And there I will send a lad, saying, Go find the arrows. If I expressly say to the lad, Look, the arrows are on the side of you, get them and come. Then, as the Lord lives, there is safety for you and no harm. But if I say thus to the young man, Look, the arrows are beyond you, go your way, for the Lord has sent you away. And as for the matter which you and I have spoken, indeed the Lord be between you and me forever. So what he's telling me is, if I say this, you're safe. You come back home. If I say this, go, run, hide. Don't stay here. Then David hid in the field, and when the new moon had come, wow, that washer's loud. Y'all may not hear it like I do. The new moon had come. The king sat down to eat the feast. Now the king sat on his seat as at other times, on the seat by the wall, and Jonathan arose, and Abner sat by Saul's side, but David's place was empty. Nevertheless, Saul did not say anything that day, for he thought, something has happened to him. He is unclean. Surely he is unclean. So he thought that he didn't come because he wasn't clean, because they were practicing the different Levitical laws. And it happened the next day, the second day of the month, that David's place was empty. And Saul said to Jonathan his son, why has the son of Jesse not come to eat, either yesterday or today? So Jonathan answered Saul, David earnestly asked permission of me to go to Bethlehem. And he said, please let me go, for the family has a sacrifice in the city, and my brother has commanded me to come there. And now, if I have found favor in your eyes, please let me get away and see my brothers. Therefore, he has not come to the king's table. When Saul's anger was aroused against Jonathan, and he said to him, you son of a perverse, rebellious woman, do I not know that you have chosen the son of Jesse to your own shame and to the shame of your mother's nakedness? For as long as the son of Jesse lives on the earth, you shall not be established, nor your kingdom. Now, therefore, and bring him to me, for he shall surely die. So maybe he did know. Why didn't I see this before I even started talking about this today? Maybe he did know that he was anointed. He had to have, or he wouldn't have said that. Why didn't I notice that before? I didn't make a note about it. Why are they screaming out there? The dogs were barking. And Jonathan answered Saul his father and said to him, why should he be killed? What has he done? Then Saul cast a spear at him to kill him, by which Jonathan knew that it was determined by his father to kill David. So he's trying to kill his own son, just because he's taken up for David. So Jonathan arose from the table in fierce anger and ate no food the second day of the month. For he was grieved for David, because his father had treated him shamefully. And so it was in the morning that Jonathan went out into the field at the time appointed with David, and the little lad was with him. Then he said to his lad, now run, find the arrows which I shoot. As the lad ran, he shot an arrow beyond him. When the lad had come to the place where the arrow was which Jonathan had shot, Jonathan cried out after the lad and said, is not the arrow beyond you? And Jonathan cried out after the lad, make haste, hurry, do not delay. So Jonathan's lad gathered up the arrows and came back to his master. But the lad did not know anything, only Jonathan and David knew of the matter. Then Jonathan gave his weapons to his lad and said to him, go, carry them to the city. As soon as the lad had gone, David arose from the place toward the south, fell on his face to the ground, and bowed down 3 times. And they kissed one another, and they wept together, but David more so. Then Jonathan said to David, go in peace, since we have both sworn in the name of the Lord, saying, may the Lord be between you and me, and between your descendants and my descendants forever. So he rose and departed, and Jonathan went into the city. So Jonathan has told David, you got to run away. You got to go. My father's going to kill you if you don't, because he's got vengeance in his heart, and he doesn't want the lineage to die. He wants it to be his child to be king, which now he's trying to kill his own child. Let's see what this says. Okay. That is not where I should be. That was 2 Samuel. I'm like, that's not what I'm reading. Nope, it was not. Okay. Okay. This right here says in here, let's see, sounds like he had a break with reality, psychosis maybe. Yeah, it does. In this section, Saul tries about a dozen times to kill David, including the times he throws his spear at him, sends soldiers out to get him, and sends him into dangerous battle conditions. If Saul had worked as hard to kill Israel's enemies, he would have been much better military leader and king. But David was so devoted to serving God that he escaped every incident unscathed. While believers should never presume to have any kind of special protection from worldly pains and problems, An ongoing closeness with God can have a remarkably calming effect during hard times. God can provide a peace that transcends all understanding. So this right here, and we're only in chapter 20, says that it was a dozen times. Sounds like he was drunken with power and doesn't want to give up. Yeah, it does. He is so determined to stop David from being king. But he does it because he left God. He disrespected God. He went against God. He doesn't even know what God wants because he's not listening to God. So he threw away all of his chances. He threw away everything. But it does say, Carol, that it's so far about a dozen times. And that's just to chapter 20. So Saul is just he's just so adamant or determined to kill him that he's not thinking about anything else. He's not caring about anything else. I pulled this little book back out to see if there's anything in this. I've actually kept it out, but no, there's nothing any different than what we've already talked about. It does say, so irresistible is the power of the Spirit of God that not only is Saul's evil plan frustrated, but the king himself becomes infected. Like his messengers, he too, for a time at least, turns prophet. The first day of each month is feast day, and the king and they would eat together. Let's see. Donna said, not get overly specific, but it sounds like some politicians these days, and that just goes to show basically nothing has changed in thousands of years. When you get down to the bottom is line, greed is still greed, and lust is still lust, and so forth. That's true, Donna. That is so true. And like I said, whenever we first started, these studies that we're doing in 1 Samuel, it's like, this is all still happening. This has not changed because people they're not trying to change. Now, I'm not saying it's everybody, but things are not changing because people are not listening to God. That's just how it goes, or how it's gone. So let's see. We're going to do next time. If y'all want to talk more, we can. I'm not stopping. I'm just trying to figure out what we want to do next time. Maybe I should do this before, but then again, sometimes I don't. I would like y'all's opinion. I now understand that more things change, the more they stay the same. Exactly. They do. Even though the world has changed, we've got more technology. Everything's supposed to be easier. Everything's supposed to be better. Everything is supposed to be, everybody's supposed to be happier, more content, because our lives are so much easier. It's still the same because the root of all of it is sin. The root of all the problems is sin, and that is not going away. Sin is still going to be there, and there's nothing we can do about that other than try to do our best not to sin. And I know that we're still going to sin. There's still going to be times we're going to all sin, but we know that there's repentance. We know we can go to God and we can ask for forgiveness. And I know there's times whenever I sinned and I didn't even know it was sin. And once I learned, I repented, so. And sometimes my convictions, things I believe, they're not a sin to you, but they're a sin to me. They would cause me to sin against God. So we have to be careful. So let's see, chapters 21 and 22, I guess. Those are very short chapters. So maybe we should go ahead and do 23 too. We'll do 21 through 23. When we know better, we do better, hopefully. Yeah, that's the hope. But yeah, we'll do 21 through 23 next time. And then there's actually 31. Okay, yeah. So that's what we'll do for next week, which is, what is the date? The 25th. Um, I'm really enjoying this study. It's making me want to study more in some ways. It's making me want to learn more, making me want to understand more, because there's so many things that did happen that are still happening. The devil has always used the same strategy against us: vanity. He blinds us because we deserve more. Right. And the thing is, people don't understand we don't deserve anything. We don't deserve anything at all. Um, we deserve death because we're all, you know, we're all sinners. We don't deserve God's grace, but He gives it freely. He has given it to us, and all we have to do is accept it. So the thing I wanted to talk to y'all about, where did I put my phone? Oh, it's over here, driving me nuts. Do y'all hear those birds? It's my alarm. It's the squirrels. Um, they're trying to drive us crazy. Anyway, what I wanted to talk to y'all about. Let me see if I can actually pull it up on my phone. I don't know much about it, but I've seen several women who had this yearly devotional. It's the Bible in 52 weeks. I don't know if it's going to show up. Okay. Back at the end of last year, off topic, but I think God can take anger and not understanding from us humans. It is a good way to bring up conversation with Him. Yeah. That is true. I mean, God knows we don't understand everything. If we did understand, then, and there is righteous anger. There's sometimes we may be angry about things because it's righteous anger, but there's been times whenever in my life that I've been angry at God, but then God showed me I'm not who you should be angry at. I'm not the one who took this from you. I'm not the one that did this. So there's times, Donna, there's true. But anyway, this book, I can't remember who put it. Oh, it was Tiffany from Large Family. What is the name of her? Large Family Love, I think is the name of her channel. Anyway, she's the one that does the cleaning challenge, or the cleaning list that I am doing the challenge from. It's on sale for $8.99 for the paperback. I'm not going to buy the paperback, even though I want the paperback, because I would rather read it on paper form than book form. But I had like some credits, so I got this free like at the end of last year. I haven't started it yet. Have you guys seen it, studied it? I know Gina said she saw it. Have you heard any good things about it? I've heard good things about it. I know I own it, but I haven't actually started it. And you just brought it up. Wait a minute. You brought what up, Donna? Are you talking about what we were talking about? Or something else? I don't know. But anyway, this book is on sale on Amazon. Yeah. It's on sale for $8.99 for the paperback. And it seems like it'd be a good thing to read. And I'm not saying that I want us to do studies on it, but I thought that if we did, like, we could, if y'all wanted to, we could start this maybe at the 1st of November or even the 1st of January. Maybe then, if y'all wanted to do it, and we could discuss what we had, like each week there's scriptures to read for 6 days, and then the 7th day you catch up. And it starts in Genesis. And from what I understand, it doesn't just like go through the whole Bible. It has, where was that at? That is not where I want to be. This is another reason why I don't like it on the thing. Because I can't just turn the page. I have to find it on the technology. But anyway, it just seems like it goes through the Bible from what I understand, and it's just something that I thought would be good in addition to what we're already doing, because I don't want to stop what we're doing, but maybe spend a few minutes each time we do the study on Tuesdays, and do that, because I don't really want to do that by myself. So if you guys want to do it, I mean, it is on sale today. I don't know how long it's on sale for. I do want the paperback, and I may buy the paperback anyway, but I can't right now because I'm not supposed to buy anything right now. But I do wait. I do have some Ibotta money that I could redeem. But anyway, I have to pick it up. I have to go pick up my daughter from work. Okay, Gina, we're almost done anyway. We're just talking about this now. We're not talking about any more of the Bible study because we know what we're doing and all. But you be safe. And yeah, I don't know. I just thought that would be fun to do. And if I just wanted to ask y'all if you might want to do it, and maybe either start it in November or start it in January, maybe. That way we have the full 52 weeks. Maybe y'all think about it this week and then tell me next week and decide if y'all want to do it January. Yeah, I think that would be really good to do. Because it just, we would have the whole year of that. And I think it would be really good. Okay, we've got 2 Januaries. 3 counting me, because I was thinking that would be best. But yeah, and that would also give everybody time to buy it if they want to. That way it will be after holidays and more affordable, and we could get it as a gift. Yeah, exactly. I would like to have the spiral one, but it's $25. So I would always go for the cheaper version. But yeah, I already have it, so I don't need it. But and I can actually read it on my computer too. I wonder if I could print it off from my computer. That would be a lot of printing, but I could print off the question parts. I want to look into it. But the Kindle price is about the same as the other, so I just thought that would be fun for us to do together. But anyway, so next week is 3 chapters, and now y'all know I can't do a peace sign because it looks like this finger goes down, but I can do this, and they're all even. But peace sign, it's crazy. Anyway, that's the way I am built. All right, so I need to go so that I can do my light switches, because that is what today's challenge is light switches and walls. And y'all will find out more about that in tomorrow night's video. But I will see y'all next time. I had a good time with this one today. Even though it was 2 short chapters, I still think that there's a lot in every chapter of the Bible we can learn, even though it happened thousands of years ago. But I will see y'all next time. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed it. And remember, don't take any wooden nickels, and be sweet.